Yeah. Uh-huh. 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 Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. 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 Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Longevity, understanding, and integrity. Me and you, we on the road. Graduate, self-discovery. Got a lot to learn in this life, and I'm excited. Gonna do it in my people like mine. Yeah. What you gonna do when you need it? What you gonna do? A reboot.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, Lena, your sound is out. Let's get you going. We'll try to get you.
Welcome.
There we go. There we go.
I was so ready. I was so ready. Okay,
You
first of
were.
all, I was really talking. Did y'all feel my expressions and stuff? Hello, everybody. Is what I. Let me just tell you what I said. Welcome to the Reboot podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in with us tonight on our new time, Mondays at 9 p.m. We got some good conversation today, so I'm excited about today. Thank you for being here with us, Shelly Welly. How you doing today? STL, how you doing today?
I'm all right. I'm living life. I'm ready to chat with you guys.
Okay, yes.
I am doing great. I just came from the Rebel Inc. and I see Monica done came in there after all that twerking and carrying on you did over there in the other channel. I saw, look back at it, Monica. Look back at it. Yes, we're celebrating another one of our viewers' birthday. Mino is having a birthday on tonight. So we celebrated her in Rebel's channel and they are still going for it. I see you, girl. You look, there's no other way to do it. You gotta look back at it. So I want to say,
at it, Mino.
yes, no, you gotta look back at your tail. You gotta look back at your tail. So we got
look back at it. Okay.
While you putting that thing up, you gotta look back at it.
You gotta look back at it when you're talking. So Mino, happy birthday to you and Monica. So glad to have you here. And Mel Holiday, you're in here, and we appreciate you so much. Twanna's Twitch, I see you, sis. So much love coming to you as well. You are just a beautiful soul. And we're so glad to have you. So there you have it. That's been my night. That's been my day. It's been low key. It's been marvelous. It's been beautiful. And so I came over here in the Lions Den to be with you beautiful ladies on tonight. Stacy, I saw you over there. Stacy was winning some bangos. Stacy was winning some bangos. So get it, sis. Get it. Good. Welcome to everybody out there.
I see you, Stacey. And thank you, Stacy, for the follow on TikTok and all of your likes. I appreciate your feedback on the videos. I appreciate you.
I tuned into Rebel League a little bit, and I had to get out because I was like, I'm not winning my bingo. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. You know, I'm a sore loser. I don't know if y'all knew this about Penny Sleeper, but I don't like to lose. I hate to lose. You understand what I'm saying? So if I'm not winning in a matter of 15 minutes, I have to like rewire my mind because it's not right. That's why when I go
Right.
to the casino, if I put $20 in, I ain't made nothing back. Dude,
Period.
I'm not about to stay here and no, I can't do it because I need to see something for my, you know what I mean?
No, I'm the exact same way. Don't let me go to the casino and you lose $20 because you'll see a whole different person.
Listen, a whole
This
different
this
person.
will not be the person you see.
See,
Stacey said I won too. That's what's up. That's what's
she
up. See,
I
you
did.
got
love
the
that.
gift. You got the
She
gift.
did.
Bless
She
me
did.
with some of the good juju. I think that's what they call it. Because I am a sore loser. But y'all was kicking it over there. So I
There
was
you
glad
go.
to be watching. Okay, today, guys, I want to just hop right into our topic today. We are going to be talking about visualization today. I have to do that little move after every time. Why is this? Like you can tell that we related to meditation or something like that because me and Shelly
Uh-huh.
did the same thing. I would like
Connecting
to
with
know
one's soul.
connecting with your soul, with your being, with the purpose of
Mhm.
your adequacy. I don't know.
Yes.
I would
Yes.
like to hear what is you guys' definition of visualization? What do you
Mhm.
think about it? What do you know about it so far? And if you use it, how do you use it in your life so far?
Mhm. So I'm totally in learning mode tonight because I like I said before to you, I thought that visualization was like manifestation where it's like, oh, I want a red starburst in my starburst pack. So I'm visualizing that it will be red. But I think I'm kind of learning more so that visualization is just mapping out, mentally mapping out, and maybe even getting it out on paper the path that you want your life's journey to travel along. So
Mhm,
making sure that you have a clear vision for what you want.
mhm.
That's kind of my definition.
Okay. And we kind of talked about like I know at the beginning of the year we kind of talked about like visual boards, like making vision boards and stuff like that. So it kind of is on the same plane, but I want to hear what
Mhm.
STO what is your experience with visualization so far? Hello, truck driver. Thank you for coming in. We love to see you in here. Hope
Hi, truck
everybody's having a
driver.
great day so far. Thank y'all for coming in.
I do. I have a vision board. I have a physical vision board on my wall. I have a vision board on my phone, and I do utilize it with my meditation. And we talk about in our group that we do on the Institute of Higher Consciousness. We talk about how meditation, yoga, and meditation can be two ways. A lot of people are always in that mindset of emptying out and trying to get everything emptied out and centering yourself that way. We also take it as filling up like natives do when they go out into nature and just fill their senses with that. In my use of it, it's more of I love to go out in nature, and then whatever I have on the vision board, I will concentrate and visualize myself going into the spaces or encountering and engaging and networking with wherever and however the ability for that to come into my world and manifest it with boss energy. That anybody that knows the morning session, y'all know we talk about boss energy from that
Mhm.
boss energy perspective, and allow not so much to dictate how it's going to be, but to visualize myself in those situations where it's happening, and to have that free, open spirit that is first receptive and able to receive it. Because a lot of times we talk about stuff that we want, but our mind is still really already blocked to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like we say we want it, but if we really look at ourselves, we still have a block. We still cannot see ourselves having it, you know? So
Yeah.
a lot for me is to be very, very comfortable in my visualization, seeing myself obtaining that thing. I go back to early visualization when they first started with it, when a lot of the athletes, you would go through the process where they would have you run that race in your mind, run that race in your mind, run that race in your mind, so that when you run that race, you've actually already run that race. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
you've already
that
done it.
is the way with mine. I'll take it, and I see myself in, Donald Lawrence song, see yourself in the future. I see myself in that future. I see myself, and whatever way it manifests to me while I'm for me, it's typically nature. I'm not the big meditation person that's constantly trying to empty out. My thing is to fill up my senses and then allow my creativity just run wild, and just let that thing run wild and see it as big as it can be, as grandiose as it can be, as whatever. But until I get very, very comfortable with the realness of it, where I can feel it like it's real, then that's where I go with it.
Interesting.
I love that. One thing that I appreciate about your process is it's not so much as just kind of taking the thought and like one tracking it. You're looking at all the different networking aspects that it takes to get there, and you're feeding your energy into it. So it's not just kind of, okay, well, I'm going to get to the park this afternoon. You're like, I need to pack my bags. I need to get this ready. I need to make sure I have the right shoes on. And that's how we're going to get to the park. I mean, that's kind of like a smaller version of it. But I like that you're talking about really taking the time to process the steps to get there, and not just, okay, I'm going to be in this room. But how are you going to get to the room?
So Shelly, you appreciate because there's different aspects of visualization, right? You can visualize the big picture. You can see,
Yeah.
I want to be a millionaire or whatever. You can see that, and you can focus your mind on it. But it sounds like you more so appreciate okay, what are the steps to get to being a millionaire?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I feel like we can all say I'm going to be a millionaire. But what are you doing? What energy are you putting into it? Like Aunt Jean said, you can say you want it, but you might be blocked off to it if you're not thinking about the entire process. Everybody wants to be a millionaire. Who doesn't want to have $1 million? But how are you getting there? What is your process? I like that.
So the Google definition of visualization is the practice of imagining what you want to achieve in the future as if today. And so people believe that if you are able to do this, it helps you stay focused on the path and actually get to the things that you want. Because, we talk about a lot of things, but a lot of times.
Lost you, Lena.
Oh, I thought it was me. I was just sitting here like, what did I lose? But I think that what she's getting at is kind of what we've been saying, is that a lot of times we think that it's just saying the process, but it's not putting the work in. Is that kind of what you were getting at? Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say,
Let me say, I'm not process oriented. So I'm not sure what part of that came out process oriented. I'm not process oriented like that. It's more of a visualization and just allowing it to come into my space. But go ahead, Lena. I'm not sure what you were saying there. Go ahead.
Okay.
We locked up on this.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I also just want to say that, I think a lot of people hear this and they're like, oh, this is not, what could really be real about this? But they've done a lot of studies about visualization, and basically what a lot of the studies have shown is that when you visualize something or visualize yourself in a space or doing something or having something that you want or being where you feel like your purpose is driving you, your mind is doing the same things and reacting the same way. Your brain, the brain cells, everything's reacting the same way, as if you are actually physically in that space already. So it's like, if you imagine yourself, if you've always wanted to have a family, and you imagine yourself, and you don't have a family yet, but you imagine yourself having that family unit that you always wanted. You can feel the whatever it gives you. You can put yourself in a scenario of it, even though you're not actually there. Your mind is reacting the same way. So it's like, it makes you think about reality. It makes you think about what's actually real and what's not real. You know what I mean? Because if
Mhm.
my body's reacting the same way and
Yeah.
my brain is reacting the same way, then you know,
And I think like from the athletic perspective, which is to me probably one of the easiest ways for people to grasp it, you run that race already. And so
Mhm.
when you actually get out there, people talk about, oh, the nerves, all the other things that want to kick in. But if you've run that race already in your mind 5,000 times, and this is where I'm going to accelerate, this is where I'm going to reserve a little bit, this is where I'm going to hold a little energy back. And then at this point right here, I'm going to really open it. Everything that I got, I'm just going to release it. And I always obviously go to a sprinter and a runner because that's my sport. But it's like when you visualize, you've already seen yourself in that thing so many times, and you're so open to the opportunity and the mindset of what it takes to win that race, and then execute what you visualized all these different times. I mean, it's just like
yeah.
it's a whole nother level.
You know what it's
Do you
reminding me?
guys think?
Go ahead,
Oh, go
Shirley.
ahead. I was
No,
gonna
I was,
say, do you guys think that it takes prior knowledge of what the task is at all, or do you think that I could just get up one day like and be like, okay, well, in my head, I imagine myself running this race. Do you think it could be that easy to be like, I've done this a thousand times in my head, so I'm just gonna do it? Or do you think that it also takes the prior knowledge of what it takes to be a sprinter, form and composure and balance and so on and so forth?
I'm going to go ahead, Lena. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say that it's not either or. I'm going to say that it's, you have visions about your life, and a lot of times we've already started on the path of where we want to be. Usually, it's usually like an issue to where we get a block, or we get to a level that we don't know which way to go or whatever, or we just lose focus. And so in my mind, to visualize is to just keep yourself on that pathway. So I don't think that it's going to make you just, oh, okay, I know how to do. I don't know. It could, because you've heard people who have dreams and then they just wake up and they come up with this whole thing that the answer to their whatever. So
Yeah.
I think it's probably just more so when you're focused on what you want, it's going to allow you to start to open up those doorways and get to the things that you actually want to be at. What were we gonna say, STL?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, if you guys, there's a documentary called The Secret. It was real hot at one time. Oprah had done a lot of backing with it. But anyway, in The Secret, there is a man that was a pilot and he crashed his plane. And so he used visualization. They told him he would never walk again. So this kind of speaks to, so I'm in a position of something I've never experienced before. So it's not like you can go back and say, I know what it takes to do da da da. This man is, it's a brand new situation that they're telling him you will never walk again. But he said, I'm going to walk by Christmas. And he said, and I just began to visualize that thing. And so with that, he every day obviously had to go through and go through the process of therapy and all of that. But at the same time, it was like when he would get finished, he would meditate or focus or concentrate on that the whole time. I see you. The Secret was your church for a long time. The Secret is powerful. I own the video. I enjoyed it. I own the video. I go back and I watch it from time to time. People had a lot of negativity to say about it and da 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 da. But it's powerful, and really some of the concepts and principles there are absolutely marvelous. A lot of visualization there, and that's just one story, but there are several. But make long story short, he visualized himself walking by Christmas, and obviously with the fact that he just pushed himself and visualized it, even when they were saying, no, it's not going to happen, no, it's not going to work. And by Christmas, that man was walking. And I believe that you can do that. So it's not necessarily that it's a place where you've had the experience in that journey or no A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. It's just that ability, like he had to have the stamina and the wherewithal within himself that said, this is the goal that I'm setting for myself, and then use the visualization process to make it manifest. And when I say that, to kind of speak to the idea, I can just say something to myself and it's just going to poof. No, that man worked. He worked. And I want to kind of couple that with the idea of visualization. There's still an investment that you have to put into it, even once you've seen it. But I do believe that the ultimate of it is, regardless of all these doctors and them telling me everything, I mean, he crushed his vertebrae. I mean, it was just the worst scenario you could think of. All of this sensory that's coming to you from people telling him you'll never walk again. His visual was not only, yes, I will walk, but I will walk by Christmas. It's just, that story is just it's so profound for me. So that spoke to me more so, like when you start talking about visualization and the power of visualization, and in this instance, seeing himself walking, even though the doctor said he would never walk again. And then, from there, just doing the daily, where again, stay focused, but then he still had to manifest by showing, I believe that I'm going to walk. So I'm not just going to lay here and say, I'm going to walk by Christmas. If I want to walk by Christmas, I got to get up and do what I need to do to make sure that I walk by Christmas, despite the odds. But I see it. I see it. And that's what he kept saying, even when they were telling him, no, no, no. He was like, but I see it. I see it. So
I think that vision is so important for the success of your life or getting to where you want to be, because if you don't believe that you can't get somewhere, if you can't see yourself in that space, then you're gonna not reach it. You're gonna have issues reaching it. You
right.
hear a lot of people. I've been listening to these relationship. What's her name? She's they call her the mother. She has the big hair. She's a vegan. She made the bacon out of carrots.
Oh,
The
yeah, I
bacon
know
out.
you.
I'm trying. Tabitha Brown.
Yes.
Okay. And so she has this new little podcast on YouTube, and they're basically just talking about relationships, and she has these different couples that come in. I kept hearing the men say, I never seen an example of what a husband was, or I never seen an example of what a good husband was. And so I was afraid to be that. I was afraid to go into marriage. I didn't want to. I only seen negative experiences. And so when I hear stuff like that, it just makes me think, like, if we could see it, even if you didn't have it physically, if you could just see it, and
Exactly.
read books and be in the space of people who are in the areas that you want to be in, then you can get to where you want to be.
Yeah.
Eric, I don't know if you guys have heard of. I always talk about him, but Eric Thomas, he's a motivational speaker, but he always says, I think he says, the person who believes that they can do it and the person who doesn't believe they can do it, they're both right.
Correct.
And so it's like, why not tap into things that are going to propel you and help you get to where you want to be? Why not?
Right.
Why not just believe? Why
Right.
not just? I heard a motivational thing that said the guy, he was an athlete, but he was like, why not me for the VIP? Why not me? Why not? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so if you
Exactly.
keep that idea in your mind, then it helps you get there. Helps you get there. This whole thing is crazy because I think you were talking about it last week on the podcast, but I just watched the first episode of Yeezus.
Genius. Oh, what do you think?
I said Yeezus, genius. It was interesting because we were talking about visualization this week, and his first episode was called Vision, and it was really good. Like, it was really good, and just watching Kanye hit all these walls, and everybody's telling him no. Everybody's telling him, oh, this is trash. Oh, they're not listening to his music. Nobody sees the vision but Kanye and the dude who recorded. It's only Kanye that has this. Listen, I got these aspirations. I want to get here. I see it. Nothing in his life had shown him that was what he was going to be. You know, he was you know, he's from the hood, you know what I'm saying, from Chicago, you know, and so nothing showed him that he was going to be that great or whatever, but he had this like bubbling vision. Like I like the part
ego. Ego.
It was, but I really enjoyed the part where he's in there. This is probably a spoiler alert. So if you're gonna watch it, I know I told Shelly not to do no spoiler alerts last time. But listen, he did a part where he's in the room with Mos Def and he's rapping, right? Mos Def, you know, Mos Def been in the game. Mos Def is probably the higher person, but when he got to Kanye, let Kanye do his verse. Kanye was just like bubbling, like he was just like you could see it just like oozing out of him, like he couldn't contain it. And it was like that's what vision is about. I think that's what it's about. You just and it helps you. He said he was practicing his Grammy speech at the park, you know, on his way on the train or whatever. And so
imagine just imagine the attention he had to have given himself to do that, because it's like you're making a documentary about yourself and you're not even famous yet. Who do you think you are?
But you know what's crazy?
He knew. It
wasn't even him. Like it was the dude. The dude saw the
well, he asked Cootie to record. He asked Cootie to record the documentary for him.
I thought it was crazy that
it gets sad. You gotta finish it. I cried.
You cried? I ain't trying to cry, but
I cried a couple times. You watched all 3 parts?
No, I just watched the first episode. But I just thought I wanted to talk about it because Angie, have you seen it?
No, hi, Harry. Harry Markwick said, "What's up from YouTube?" Hi, Harry.
What's going on? We appreciate you coming into the Reboot podcast. I just thought it was perfect that we was talking about visualization, and this first episode is called Vision. I just thought it was perfect.
To answer your question, no, I haven't seen it yet, but I do plan to go out and watch it. But I like it from the standpoint of, if you guys have seen as well, Richard, which I think everybody was watching, and the idea that, you know, we had Serena and Venus. He had a vision that nobody believed it. Nobody understood it. They were like, it's never been done like that before. We don't do it like that. We don't. He's like, no.
Nobody supported it.
Nobody supported
King Richard. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. And
watch it.
At the end of the day, to say the least, he has created the 2 most phenoms in tennis that we've ever seen, that you will ever probably see. So, you know, I'm just like, you would argue?
I would argue until the sun goes down that Serena Williams is the greatest athlete of all time.
Oh, absolutely.
Until the sun goes down.
All the way around.
Absolutely.
All the way around.
But he had a vision. And that's the thing about it. Good evening, Funny Chemist. We see you. And so at the time that he kept getting all of the negativity from the experts and the pros, that we know how to do it, this is how it's done. And he was like, no. And that's the thing about visioning. If you get a vision and you stick to that vision and you believe, that becomes the thing. Do you believe in this vision? The vision that you say you have, do you really believe in it? Because when all the naysayers come and talk you down and say all the negativity, if you really believe in that vision, folks can think that you're crazy, but it will manifest.
It will. And all the naysayers will be looking stupid. Yeah.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling so far, Shelly? You say you was taking in today. You was learning today. What do you think so far about what's been said?
I have a couple of questions. So I really did from the explanations that I have gotten, I thought that it would be like a feeding of my energy and myself into what my goals are. Now it's kind of got my mind reeling, thinking that like you don't have to. Because so when Aunt Jean mentioned The Secret, I Googled it because I wanted to see like what the backstory was and everything. And it seems a little magical. It's giving me mystical vibes. Like he said he was going to walk by December and he walked, like end of story. But it makes me wonder at that point, like, is it more of a physical, I'm just going to eliminate all thoughts in my mind of not doing this?
Mm-hmm.
So like I haven't seen the movie, but I can only imagine like how he was treating maybe like the staff around him or the people around him who were saying like, oh, you know, you need to slow down. It might take some time. I wonder how that kind of works. Like, do you have to kind of get rid of everything around you that is not in support of or in line with that goal? Or can you persevere regardless?
And see, my thing, because and I hear exactly what you're saying. Instead of eliminating what the not, my energy has shifted to for manifestation. Stop, because even the not is a negative to me. I'd rather go to the positive instead of even focusing on all the knots that are. It's more a matter of saying these are the things that I can do, and this is what I am going to do. And so going toward the positive versus and if you go toward the positive, the negative will automatically eliminate itself. But I'm not going to when you think on the negative, you give the negative energy. And that's something I think a lot of times we don't think about. If you are thinking on the negative, you're actually giving your energy to the negative. So I don't have energy, and this is the way I've started programming my mind. I don't have time to give my energy to the negative. I only have time to give my energy to the positive. Not now. Again, yeah, all of this other. I got you. I got you, Twanna's Twitch, and that's the way I am. Move from the not. Move from the not, and move toward the can and the do and the is. And there's a big difference in that. You know, we don't necessarily think about it that way, but some of you guys in our thinking and the way that we operate, and I'll say even myself, having been there for the majority of my life, this is the way we've been taught. But it's like at the end of the day, even with going to the not, it absolutely drains all of your energy, so you don't have energy to do the pro. You got so much energy invested in the con and trying to overcome the con, trying to get your energy to overcome the con, that you don't have any energy left when you get to the pro. So that's a place that, yes, like BTD Mom said, change the direction, move from the not. All of those are, it's a matter of changing the way that you think, changing the direction of your thoughts and moving in another direction. So he could have easily said, I don't have, my vertebrae's been crushed, and I don't have this, and I don't have that, and I gotta, he's just like, listen.
So what?
There's no energy going to that. The energy that I'm giving is to this vision. I'm going to walk by Christmas Eve or Christmas or whatever. I think it was Christmas. So, you know, that is so big of a deal. Where are you putting your energy and how are you distributing it? And so I'm at a point now where I'm kind of like, if it doesn't speak to where I'm going in my vision, it cannot have my energy. It just can't have my energy.
You better say that again. If it does not speak to where I am going, it cannot have my energy.
Correct.
I need that.
But I've got a vision for where I'm going to be. I've got a vision for where I'm going. I want to throw this out here to you. And this was funny, Chemist. We're so glad to have you tonight. He said, greatness takes work and action. It really does. Not everyone can visualize the work to be great. How would you respond to that? And thank you, Funny Chemist, for that comment.
I mean, yeah, I get it. You're great. It does take a lot of work, but I think a lot of the times what I see kind of the delusional mentality where people think they know the work that it takes, but then they get into the thick of it and it all crumbles around them. So that's what kind of is on the teeter-totter for me about visualization, because I absolutely understand putting yourself there and thinking that you're already there and it gets you one step closer to your goal. But how far-fetched can the goal be? Like, is this just unlimited possibilities? I just feel like there has to be another level to it for it to work. It has to be more than just seeing and believing. Like, you have to be capable as well.
What makes you incapable? What would make you incapable?
I mean, different aspects, I feel like, would, depending on what you're trying to visualize. But and the instance from the guy in the movie, and I don't want to talk too much on his story because I really don't know much about it, but I think what would have made him incapable, like Aunt Jean was saying, is if he had a lot of people kind of drowning out his thoughts, telling him that he couldn't do it. Or a lot of different, I mean, obviously they were telling him his condition, but he thought, I'm going to overcome this regardless.
But they were telling him he couldn't do it. And these were medical professionals.
Okay. So there was.
Yes. Okay. And I'm gonna say I feel like the limit. I feel unlimited. I don't live in restrictions. So I think it is unlimited potential. But that's just me. Rebel, how are you? What are you thinking, Rebel? I'm saying Rebel. Good evening, Rebel. She came in the room, and that's what my
Rebel.
Lena, Phoenix, Leor. What are your thoughts there?
I mean, I don't think you should let any human put any limitations on you because they ain't made it just like you ain't make this. That's so much of our brain that's not been understood yet. So I think that if you feel like you can heal your full body, then you should do it. It's been a lot of examples of it, and I think you said it. You feel like it sounds magical. A lot of people would see that and be like, "Oh, that's a miracle." It's amazing. Some people, I wrote down a definition of a miracle that somebody has said. I thought it was interesting, but they said a miracle is something science has not caught up to yet. So have y'all heard that before? So, I mean, what could seem like something that's amazing to us and seems like, oh, it's impossible that somebody has done could just be our lack of intelligence of it.
Right.
So, in 100 years, maybe if we open that up and people, study it or whatever, we'll know, oh, okay, yeah, this is how you get to it. So I just think that's interesting. There's an author by the name of John Gabriel. And he was 409 pounds. He used the practice of visualization to lose that weight, and now he's 104 pounds. And he said he used the practice of visualization to not have excess skin. So he you had to look him up because he has no excess skin. Somebody who's like morbidly obese or up around 400 or 500 pounds, when you go all the way back down to what you're supposed to be, usually people have a lot of excess skin.
Yeah.
So he said he used the power of visualization to do it, and he's not saying that.
I need him to give me some notes.
Listen, me too. I'm like, what's going on? I'm just going. Oh, go ahead.
No.
So hold on, let me grab a pen. What's the process again? Because now I'm listening.
There was a book that came out. I didn't read it though, but there was a book that came out during the visualization. And I'd say the early 90s was really kind of the late 80s, early 90s was the birth. And good evening, Michelle Brownell. We see you. Thank you for coming. The late 80s, early 90s was like really the birth of visualization. And I think even it started coming out where even oh my God, the LA Lakers, the guy, Phil went to a whole team visualization approach. I don't know if you guys have seen that documentary or not. There was a book that came out when you talk about the overweight guy. There was a book that said, Think Yourself Thin. And it was really centered around visualization and dealing with visualization to see yourself in another reality away from obesity. So all of these are things that were coming out in the late 80s and 90s, and probably prior to that too, but it got tremendously popular, especially when Oprah came out and did The Secret on her show, and people were really more exposed, if you will, to the idea of visualization. And like I said, with Phil and the Lakers were killing it. That was during the time that they were, he was doing visualization and yoga. And people were like, that's stupid. And they were killing it. They were going out there. They were winning rings left and right. And so at the end of the day, like his players said, when they walked away from it, it's like, when he first started it, they were like, man, what you been smoking? But it yielded results because that visualization. And then after that, you started seeing a lot of athletic programs using visualization because it manifests. And so at the end of the day, I think Yourself Thin. I haven't read the book, but that was one of the early ones that I know that came out regarding and revolving around visualization. And people were having absolutely life-changing turnarounds just from visualization.
Yo,
I'm
this
about to
guy
think
has a
myself then.
listen. This guy, his book is called The Gabriel Method, and he has a whole book. He has a community that they do this method and they all lose weight or whatever. Jim Carrey is also somebody who did visualization. He wrote himself a check for $10 million, and he said the check was for acting
Yes.
service rendered. So he did that in 1994. Wrote himself for $10 million, and then later on that year, he received $10 million from his role as
Wait,
Dumb and Dumber.
he
So
actually wrote the check?
he wrote it. So he wrote himself a check, and it
Mhm.
said $10 million, and it said, on the check it says for. He said for acting service rendered. Stuck it in his wallet, and he just looked at it daily as inspiration and focus. And then later on that year, he received $10 million from his role in Dumb and Dumber.
So let me ask you, and I also want to pose the question. Twana's Twitch in our comment section has a lot of information that she's kind of been dumping over there. But she said that visualization is an exercise in faith. So my question to that and to you guys as well would be, at what point... Okay, wait. I want to reword it because that was going to sound wrong. Do you... Okay, whatever.
Just say
At
it.
what point is the goal more physical? Does that make sense? Like, when does it come out of here, just being in my think tank, and become action? Is it right there when I'm in it that it becomes action? Is this making sense? Like, okay, if I'm the runner thinking the race, I'm sitting on the bench, I'm running the race in my head, running the race in my head. Does it only then become real when I'm on the track about to run? Or is it real the whole time?
I think that it's real the whole time. But I think what you're asking is, how long do you have to visualize before you can see the fruits of it?
Yeah, yes. Faith is nothing without action. Twana's Twitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
STL, if you want to, you can respond if you want to.
I think that okay, so for me, I don't get in the head game of how long it's going to take me to see something manifest, because it may take weeks, it may take years, that's not my end game. I visualize it, but I'm not visualizing it with some kind of I think a lot of times we have a reward stimulus that we always have to push that button. I want reward and I want to see it within a certain time window. That is however long it takes for me to manifest and see this come to pass. I'm going to keep doing this until I see it, if I really believe it. If I need I'm gonna say reward gratification, and I need reward gratification within a certain window of time, to me that takes me out of the energy and the space of the belief in it, regardless of whatever it is. Now, that being said, I think there can also be the flip side of that, where like this gentleman here, his determination was, I'm going to walk by Christmas. So he gave himself, really, when you talk about somebody's got a crushed vertebra and all of this, and the doctors are telling you it's impossible, he actually gave himself a limit. And that was when he said, but that was his motivation on how hard he was going to push. Mm-hmm. And you understand what I'm saying? It wasn't just a matter of I need gratification and I'm gonna push this button and da 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 da. He used that time window as a matter of saying, and this is how hard I'm going to apply myself and work toward it. So I would say, even if you are, depending on the situation, if you are in an athletic scenario and you want to win that race, you're going to have to do, okay, that's your time window, somewhat like the man that had the vertebrae, you'll never walk again, I'm going to walk by Christmas, and he makes that thing happen. That pushed him and drove him. For the athlete, they have that time window. depending on what it is that you're talking about. If you're saying, I want to make my first meal by the time I'm da 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 da, and the reality of that is you can manifest that if you put yourself into that, if you're going to work like that, but just say, I'm going to get a meal by XY time, and do everything that I can to possibly make this thing manifest. I really feel like most of it is up to you. So like I have an issue with, I need gratification. Am I doing it because I believe it, or am I doing it because I'm trying to push this gratification button? Do y'all understand the difference in what I'm trying to say there?
Yeah, absolutely.
I understand.
Yeah.
I think that if you want something in life, if you're dedicated to it, if you feel like that is who you are, it doesn't matter when it's gonna come to pass.
Right.
Like, the only thing that matters is that I'm pushing towards, because you don't know what's gonna happen. You things are thrown at you in life. You don't know what's gonna happen. There's so many different factors. But the idea is that no matter what, this is who I am. This is what I'm gonna do.
Right.
Why do you make that facial?
I'm starting to form an opinion.
Okay.
Y'all are giving me the infos.
Okay. I also want to talk about is it Twana? Did I say that right?
Twana's Twitch.
That's
my girl.
Twitch. Faith
Yes.
is nothing without action. Visualization is an exercise in faith. Now, I did want to hit on this because I think that, when it comes to religion, or when it comes to Christianity, a lot of people hear the word visualization, manifesting, positive thinking, things of this nature. They don't quite, it doesn't quite align with what they feel like is their Christian beliefs, or things of that nature. So have you guys heard this opinion, is my question.
Oh yeah. I'll say yes. Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
But yes, go ahead.
So I mean, I've watched a few videos. I've heard a few people's ideas on it, and basically, I think that what people think, who are of the Christian faith, who don't quite go with this, I think they think that it's more, visualization is more about self-sufficiency, or getting things that, monetary things, or physical things, or the idea of relying on yourself and your own mind, as opposed to relying on God to do things for you in your life.
And so, many of them are poor, broke, busted, and disgusted, and have been for many years. But that's all I'm gonna say about that.
But it's a good question. Like, how do the two align? Because a part of the Christian process is that God is the ruler of my life. He dictates my steps. So how do the two intermingle?
And many of them are broke, busted, and disgusted, and have been for many years of their life.
Listen, this is interesting. I feel like a lot of Christians feel like if you want better things in life, if you want a big house, if you want a nice car, if you want a lot of money in your bank, that's not Christian like, or that's not godly, because it's like monetary things, and it's not actually of the spiritual world. So I think that's kind of where they
rich preachers that have a jet, a house, a mansion, and 10,000 cars. So that's a bunch of bull. And so, you're going to really stir my righteous indignation right there. And I know that's what churches teach, and they teach that for the purpose of control and domination. But the people that are teaching it are not poor themselves. So there you go.
So how would you say that the two things coexist? Like, how do they coexist?
God gave you the ability to be all that you can be. I think you do a disservice to God by minimizing and limiting it to an idea that I can only go so far and hit this ceiling, and anything above this is almost ungodly. God doesn't want me to have that. God doesn't want you to have that because you're putting all of that in somebody else's pocket. So, I go somewhere with that. Faith without works is dead. And so at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of the concepts that are taught within the faith tradition, particularly to people of color, are bondage type concepts. It's designed and implemented for the purpose of keeping Black people, especially, in bondage. So if I make you feel like having money and having possessions and having houses and having cars and having land is not godly, then it takes away the idea of you trying to obtain it. And then even feeling bad when it starts coming into your possession, then it's like, well, maybe I'm not godly enough because I got this, and that, and that. And I'm like, at the end of the day, I feel that that is all part of the fabric of racism that has been baked in the fabric of even religion to teach people this idea to have more and to be more and to visualize myself greater than I am. And that's why you get all the teachings against pride, all the teachings of thinking more highly of yourself than you ought, and all of this. All of that to me is still a part of that same slavery bondage mentality. And at the end of the day, the very people that are predominantly preaching that to you are not poor themselves. So there's some hypocrisy. How about that for you?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Definitely.
I've never been of that, or I've never really believed that teaching that you can't be great and you can't have a lot of material things. That just never made sense to me because every preacher I ever knew drove a Benz. So I automatically threw that idea out the window because I'm just like, how are you going to tell me what I can't have when you have? And if we're just talking materials, every preacher I ever knew drove a Benz. So it's like, you're not making sense. That's hypocritical of its in and of itself. So I guess my thought here is not so much of like, oh, I can't have the material things, but like on the track of like, okay, so God gave us the choice, obviously, of making ourselves great. So are you saying the people who don't become great have blocked themselves out of greatness?
I'm going to say more times than not. I feel like, what I've thought at times, what do I want my tombstone to say when I die? And one of the things I think I've come to is a message to God. I used everything you gave me.
Yeah.
That's what I want my tombstone.
Well, what if I used everything you gave me and I just became like a corporate 9-to-5, $80,000 a year,
What's wrong with that?
Living an average life person?
At the end of the day, I'm still go back. Hey, there's the birthday girl. Happy birthday, Mino.
Happy birthday!
82.
Yes,
Life is great, baby.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You had a great party over there in the Rebel Inks. It was good. I love you, sis. I love you.
Mail me some cake. I'll whisper
yes.
you my address.
Greatness is not measured by others, but within. So at the end of the day, you have to be happy with yourself. Now, right. Have I really, and so we're not talking about everybody has to be a millionaire. Did you utilize, that's my question. Did you utilize every gift that God gave you? That's my question. And I feel like many, many times there are people that have had so many different giftings that went underutilized because there was this mindset that I can only be and I can only do and I can only go so far. And it's taught to you by people in your environment. Yeah. So it's like, no, I shed all of that. And this is where I think we need to start, especially with our Black children. We need to start taking them back to the idea, behold, the only thing greater than thyself. And there is nothing greater than you but God. And there's no limit, there's no restriction. And for them to go out in this world, and even like Lena said, these kids now, they are beasts. They are beasts. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, they are. But and I think about it, it's not because I don't want to say that they're so much greater than us. It's not that they came into the world with more than what we came into the world with. They have more access. They have more vision. We've elevated. So when we bring our kids in, they're at a different place. And so they have the opportunity. And so it's like, it's just a belief. It's just a mindset.
Yeah.
It's just access.
As a person
Yeah.
thinks in their heart, so they are. And so it's about that belief system. Just like I said, the visual. And when you believe it, going back to what funny chemist said, you're going to work and use your energies to create that. You're not going to just talk about it. And that is the thing that that's where people get hooked up, because they talk, 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 talk. But even in their talk, they don't even believe it themselves. And this is the thing I say, whether you're in the faith, in the church world, or even what we're talking about here, visualization for church folk, that thing that the two cannot be married. And that's why I said my call and my mission is to deconstruct the wall between the sacred and the secular, because they're both powerful. And it's just not, what are you talking about? Visualize it and then be it. So what I see so many times, even in the so-called faith realm, you speak it, but you don't even believe it. If you believed it, there'd be some action. There would be something that manifests that says that you believe that this is what's going to happen. If you really believe something, you'll get up and move toward that end. If you really believe it. If you're just sitting there talking about, I believe, and I believe God, but you ain't moved nowhere, that's not faith.
And I think that the visualization
Faith
helps.
without work is dead.
Yeah. I think the visualization helps build that belief, because if you can put yourself in a state that you're there, if you can feel it, if you can break, like Lisa Nichols has this visualization on SoundCloud, and basically she takes herself through this visualization of she wrote a book and her going to this book party and she was late, and all the people were in front of her, it was traffic, and then what happened was the people started noticing that it was her because they had a convertible. So the people just start peeling off. And so she was able to get there. And like she goes through this whole visualization, and she's like, that visualization came true for me like 5 years later, the whole scenario. And she puts herself in it, and like I can feel it. I feel the emotion bubbling up in my body. And I feel like the chemical reaction that's happening, even though I'm sitting in this room listening to it, the fact that I put my mind there, I'm that. Just like that movie Denzel Washington was in. What?
This just woke me up.
Uh-oh.
This just woke me up.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
So that happens to me. I just thought about a lot of things really fast. That happens to me when I have deja vu. So that just connected these two things for me. What if deja vu is just little, like for the person who may be suppressing the idea of visualization? I mean, like I said, I've never tried it. So what if those are just little spurts of your brain trying to show you what you can be and what you can do? And if you just tap into this energy and utilize it wholeheartedly, you would have these feelings all the time, and you could be who you wanted to be.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that it's interesting. So when you go back to the Christian aspect,
I'm sorry, Rebel. Go ahead. Sorry, Lena.
It's okay. When you go back to the Christian aspect of it, I feel like the Bible is full of visualization. I feel like God gave people so many visions, and people held on to them visions, and it came to flourishing. You think about who was it? Sarah, who didn't get pregnant until she was 83, passed menopause.
I'm through.
Everybody was telling her, "You not about to, come on now. You 83. You didn't had the menopause. Ain't had no blood in years. What are you talking about?" She had the baby. You think about Mary, Joseph. Jesus had to come down to Joseph or God and tell him, "Listen, Mary ain't been out here. That's my baby." So it's like it's full of all these visions. They had the dreams, and so I don't see visualization as a separation from Christianity or religion. I feel like it's a part of it, and I feel like if Christians feel like that, it's worldly. I think God gives you a vision for your life. He gives you a purpose for your life, and you can see it from that vision. If you ain't gonna really rock with it, you can see it from that perspective. God has given me purpose in my life. I feel like this is what I should be doing in my life, and I'm going to visualize what that is that God has given me. And so I'm going to go in that realm. Because a lot of times as Christians, there's a lot of people going to church and ain't doing nothing that God has planned for them to do. So and you think about what's holding you back is a lot of stuff. But if you hold on to what it is that you feel like you have purpose for, then you go towards that. And that's what visualization like grows, I feel like.
Right.
So that's my opinion on it. I think about the verse of, I come that you might have life more abundantly. That's what
Come
I
on.
think about. So God didn't come to condemn me, but that I may have great life. If I am the salt of the earth,
Yeah.
if I have not because I ask not, then what it's really in me. The God within, I think it's God within me. Energy.
Mm, mm.
I think that's what we look up towards God, and I think that there what's happening is I think what's happening is a joining of you understand that this God is in you. So everything that God has given you is right here. So you don't need to look outward. It's right here.
It
That's
makes
what
sense.
That's
It
it.
all makes sense. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. And this is Lena, when you say, so what have I heard when you start dealing with Christianity? And that's not all faith traditions, but I'm talking about Christianity specifically, because other faith traditions do embrace the idea of visualization, and the idea that this is new age and da 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 da. That to me makes me sad that people are so closed off, because as you said, every example of what you talk about in visualization, you see it in scripture, but they've not interpreted it that way. They've made it a very religious type of mindset, which is very fixed. It has to be this way or no way. And you got to have that growth mindset that understands, if you cannot see that all of these things that you just gave as perfect examples, and he did give us life and life more abundantly so that we can have joy, so that we can have happiness, so that we can be complete and not living on the margins and barely making it and looking sad and busted and disgusted. I feel like if we could ever allow ourselves to understand it was there from the very beginning, this is just maybe another way of understanding and communicating the very same thing. It's same. A rose by any other name is still a rose. So rather than to fight it and see it as some kind of new age theology that's tearing down the church, it's like, man, but I love the way you put that. Perfect.
Yeah. Stacy said when you actually utilize a gift God gave you, there's no stopping when you can achieve. I think this is so true, but I think back to that what is it, Genius? I think back to the Kanye documentary. That doesn't mean you're not gonna hit stuff. It doesn't mean you're not gonna have adversity. It means that it is meant for you to go forth and push through whatever comes your way. Because hey, this is what it is. You think about it. If you think about your gifts and your purpose and your dreams as if they were your children, then I think that would change your whole mindset. Because let something be coming at your child.
Come
Let
on.
a truck be coming at your child. I mean, you're gonna have this something gonna come up in you, and you're gonna try to do everything in your power to save your child. Let somebody say something about your kid. Let somebody do anything to your kid. You turn into the person that you need to be to protect that, so that your child can continue to be okay, continue to live. So if you looked at your dreams, your purpose, your goals, and all of that as your children, then I feel like it would also change your perspective. Like, no matter what, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. And the very concept that God gave you the gift. I love what Stacy said here. Believe me, it's like Lay's potato chips. You can't just stop at one, because believe me, he didn't just give you one gift. And there is a scripture that says your gift will make room for you. That's what it says. So the gift makes room for you. But if you're not exercising the gift is just like a muscle. If you exercise it, it's going to build. If you don't exercise it, it's going to atrophy. Your gift that God, and gifts, multiple gifts, the gifts that God has given you, if you exercise those gifts, they're going to multiply. They're going to be fruitful and multiply, and that muscle is going to bulge. But if you're not exercising those gifts, then it's going to atrophy, just like muscle. What you don't use, you lose. And when I say lose, not that it's being taken away from you, but you just find that just like that muscle, it atrophies and just keeps shrinking.
So greatness is not so measured by what we would call success in society. Greatness is measured by the success of you using the tools that you have been blessed with.
I'm great.
Yeah.
I'm great right now, and I will be greater.
Yeah.
I'm a winner. I'm a winner. I hang out with winners. This is the mindset that I have. And it's not measured by other people's ideas of what greatness is. I
Yeah.
know that I am in my passion. I know that my feet are on my path. I know that I'm doing what I am assigned and my purpose for being in this earth. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. I am great. So then it comes to a point where I'm trying to get other people to understand there's greatness in you too. That's my message
Right.
that I always give. There's greatness in you too. And if I just wish if I could have exercised at this level when I was a kid and on up down through the years, how much more would there be if I equated back to the muscle and the muscle building and
Mhm.
oh my God, we could have been popping and six pack and the whole nine. But because we have to come from a deficit of you being lifted up in pride, we don't want you to have pride, and you think more of yourself than you should, and don't think don't think more highly of yourself than you are, and all this negative. I'm here to suffer. It's a suffering. Child, y'all can suffer if you want to. Listen, life happens. I understand that, but I'm not going to I'm not going to live in this place of suffering, and I'm surely not going to embrace that. Like this is the life I'm supposed to have. So the life that I'm supposed to have is I'm great, and I'm supposed to be great, and I want
Yeah.
to talk to people and tell them you're great, and you're supposed to be great too, so we can have one big party of a whole bunch of great people.
Mhm.
It's individual. You deserve it.
Yeah, I feel like greatness is everybody's going to define it differently. Like you said, if
Yeah.
it might be somebody who wants to have a $80,000 job, average
Yeah.
skill, that might be your level of greatness. And so it's your definition is what has been given to you. But it is, also I feel what Agene is saying. It's like there are no limits, right?
There are no
It's
Fact.
limits
the only limits is the ones you put on yourself.
in
So
Fact.
your mind.
and a lot of people with them $80,000 jobs, they just going in and that's what the quote is that they give them, and they just taking it. You could have had
Yeah.
120,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I just think it's your own definition. I think the more you tap into it, I think the more it'll probably grow. When you start to be able to see more, you can see more. That's what
Can
I
I
think.
say this for the person I'm reluctant to use money because in this country we put so much emphasis on money, but there's so much more greatness than a dollar amount. But let me say this. For the person that has that $80,000 a year job and that's where they hit the ceiling because they didn't see themselves having anything more than $80,000.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They
I'm
did.
a, this is true.
I said what I said. They didn't see themselves having any more than $80,000. So that's where their healing, that's where their ceiling hit. So
Yeah.
I think about my nephew who went in to interview. He had headhunters had been chasing him, right? And he is just probably one of the greatest visionaries that I know. I love that baby. And the headhunters had been chasing him, and he said, so. And I did ask him if I could tell this story, so I don't tell it without his permission because he's very humble. He's very, he's not out there trying to flex his muscles and show off to everybody. He does what he does in silence, and it's huge. But the headhunters were after him, and so he said, finally it came to the point where he was like, okay, something came to him and said, go ahead and take this one, because he's got headhunters chasing him all over the place. He's ignoring them, right? So at the end of the day, he went in there and did the interview, and so completed with that. So they asked him, how much do you want? He said, okay, let me think about it. I'll get back with you. Went home, talked about it with a couple of people, and that were significant to him. And he said, I just made up a number and gave it to him. And so called him back and said, okay, this is the number. They said, okay.
Period.
Period. Now somebody else would be like, oh, I got the 80,000. I got the 80,000. This is the job of a lifetime. And this is the salary that I've been wanting, and stop right there. And he wasn't chasing it. It's just a matter of when you start moving and operating in that energy at that level frequency, when you're on the channel of frequency, it will attract it to you. So This is what I want us to understand. Sometimes we're at a frequency level where we're actually repelling our own blessings. Hear me when I say that. We're repelling because our mind is already at this limited level. And that limitation is what's restricting us. When you take the limitations off and then change the frequency to a higher frequency, man, it has the ability to bring anything and everything to you. There is no limit. It's unlimited potential, literally
Right.
unlimited potential.
Right.
So, at the end of the day, when you get finished saying, man, they're not telling me what salary I'm going to make. They're asking me what salary
What
do
do
I
you
want? And
want?
then they pay me
Mhm,
with no questions asked, no argument.
mhm.
This is the difference. This is the difference.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What
Uh,
what what are you tuned into? I
yeah,
like that.
your frequency. What are
What are
you
you
tuned
tuned
into?
into
So
every day?
yeah, yeah. And okay, so even if I go there, Lena, if you understand frequency, let's take it from the literal, and there are frequency waves, but let's take it from the literal. Frequency is how often do you think about it? How often
Mhm.
do you focus on it? How
Mm-hmm.
much
Yeah.
energy do you give to it? What is your frequency? Because some
Mhm.
folks are playing with themselves, saying, I'm operating at a higher frequency, but you never give it any energy. You never focus on it. You never vision it. You never envision it. You never see yourself with it. You never see yourself in it. Then that's not your frequency. That might be the frequency that you want to dial up to, but you ain't there yet. You're still on a lower frequency. But when you begin like that man with the crushed vertebrae, I'm telling you that story has always. I'm telling you, I was so tore up when I watched that on The Secret. When you are having a situation where your body and the doctors and everybody's telling you no, 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 but your frequency is up here. That frequency is what let him walk by Christmas. The frequency that he was operating on. You understand the words that are coming out? That frequency makes all the difference in the world. And so we've
Mm-hmm.
got to vibrate at that level. So, like, when you talk about if you're at that frequency and you're at that level, you will do the work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. That's it right there.
Yeah.
Before we get to our poll, I'm just going to give us, whoever might not, this is the first time thinking about visualization. I'm going to give us like 5 things that you can start with,
Mm.
and how to use it, right? So you want to talk about visualization, you can write down what you want in detail. You can, when you write it down, you can engage in all 5 senses. That's a big part of visualization. So whatever
Okay.
you want to think about and see, you see it, you feel it. Can you taste it? Can you smell it? What is it? What is it all the way, like the whole thing? What does it feel like? You write that down. You imagine the emotions you will feel attached to the outcome. I think that's a big part of it too. Like, whatever you see, you really put yourself in that place so that you can feel it. And when you feel it, you might be crying, you might be, you might have shivers, you just so you can feel it and put your body in that. It's like mentally putting your body physically there, even though you're not there. Okay. Um, Number 3, take action every day towards your desired outcome. So just like Jim Carrey had that check he put in his wallet, take out, look at every day. That focus helps you get to that visualization that you want. Like, just focus on it. Focus on it. Tune into it. Be on that frequency. Like, there's no point in you focusing on anything negative at this point. Like, what has happened has happened. It is the past. It's brought you right here to this moment. From here forward, we are only putting our mind and we are only putting our energy on that positivity, on that wherever we want. That's what we put our energy on. Okay, and then the last one, make time to consider your visualization. So you might get on that train, you might get on that thing and realize, okay, I need to adjust a little bit. Oh, okay, you might start to learn a little bit about yourself. Oh, okay, this is the way I want to go. This is the way I want to go. And so give your time, give yourself a little room to be able to change the vision to what it is you actually want, because it might change from this is where I'm starting. So okay, it might get bigger. It might just go a different path. So give yourself that room to do that, and just get your mind and body ready for whatever it is you want. So that's just a few things you can start off with. Try it, and I think that'll be great. Let's do our poll, guys.
Got you.
Let's see. And I want y'all to comment. Thank y'all for commenting so far. We appreciate y'all getting here, telling us stuff, and talking with us. So we're gonna get on to our poll. And we're gonna do number one. This is the question. Because what y'all don't understand is that y'all use the visualization already. Okay. This is the
Right.
question. Are you visualizing the future more or are you visualizing the past more? This is a big one. What's y'all opinion? So if you thinking about, so you talking about, oh, I want to be this, but when you talk about what you want to be, you only see the things that you failed at in this realm or in this little, that's dealing with this specific idea. Are you thinking about the past more or are you visualizing the future?
That's a hard one. That's a
Yeah.
hard one, but I'm gonna say future.
Hmm. I
Yeah, I'm
have
gonna
this.
say
You're gonna say future? Okay. Crazy Berry
mhm.
Town, future. Me no one future. Me, I this is something I need to work on because I have a very vivid imagination. I have a very vivid memory bank. So usually when I feel like, oh, I've done something incorrectly or something didn't pan out how I wanted to, I will go back and mull over what happened and I will go through every single little thing and I'll pick out, oh, I didn't do this right. Oh, I didn't do this right. Oh, I didn't do this
Yeah,
right. I will sit and do that. But it's
yeah,
like, is that really helping me or not? It's a really bad. I can sit here and just really go through and be like, I should have did that different. So
hmm,
this is something that I have to work on. I need to more so visualize the future and be more so on the positive. And even I did make mistakes in the past, it's the past. And so now
yeah.
I need to focus on what it is that I really want.
Michelle
Okay.
Brownell just said that. She said, but I'm looking at the past to make sure I don't make the same mistakes. Yeah. And I feel you too, Lena. Like I don't look at the past a lot, but I do feel like when I do I am in a moment of reflection, I kind of dwell. Like I'll get stuck on one thing and it's like, what was I thinking? And it
Mm-hmm.
takes a lot for me to redirect myself. But I feel like more often than not, I'm looking towards the future and looking at what the future possibilities hold.
Yeah, I want to interject just the idea real quickly that you're driving your car. You're driving your car. Your
Mhm.
car has a windshield, but you also have three mirrors. You got one to the left, you got one in the center, and one in the right because you do need to look back. Now, if you look back and you're driving forward, then definitely by all means, it's a distraction and you're going to wreck, but you need to see, and that's why, and I tell people all the time, your car, the vehicle, that's you, and the future to me represents that looking forward. But I feel like the reason why you got to have that mirror to look back is that why do you have a mirror on the right, the left, and the center? Because for your own safety and for the safety of others, there are times you need to be able to glance back and see what's behind. So
Yeah.
I'm not that person that says everything is just that one direction. Now, the windshield, if you put it in proportion to those three small mirrors, if you put it in proportion to size, that tells you I can't be looking forward. I can't be looking back and spend all of my energy and my time there. It's for glancing and looking briefly, but I do need to look back from time to time. So I say it's a combination of the three because I think sometimes we tell people they can only look forward, but I'm gonna say it again: your car will not pass inspection if you don't have those mirrors. You need both mirrors on the side, and you
Mm-hmm.
need that rear view mirror because we understand driving your vehicle, and I'm making this analogy: driving your vehicle without those rear viewing mirrors is a detriment to you also.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's very true. I
I,
love
I
that.
think I think that's great. I think the proportion thing for
Mhm.
me is a little off because like my mirrors are like this. My back mirror,
I get
my
it. I get it.
windshield is like this. I'm like, okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I need to change that proportion a little bit, but I love the analogy. That's good. That's really good.
Mhm.
Okay, let's go to number two. Do you believe that vision can create your future and it's important, or do you think it's not important and what is going to happen is going to happen and it does not matter? BTD
Mhm.
mom said you only glance back, but you focus on what's ahead.
Come through. Come through. There you
I'm
go.
I'm gonna read it one more time. Do you believe that vision can create your future and it's important, or do you think that it's not important and what is going to happen and it does not matter? What do you
Mhm.
think?
Before this conversation, I would have for sure said what's going to happen is going to happen. But I think now, I think it's a combination of them both because STL has spoke a lot on like the destiny and the gifts that you're given. And I think that if you utilize the tool of visualization along with the tools that you are already blessed with, what's going to happen is going to happen, but in the best way possible. It's not like you're just giving up, because I feel like that term is used often when people are giving up. Oh, whatever happens happens. But I feel like in the best way it's going to happen if you're utilizing the process of visualization and really honing in on your energy and focusing on the things that you want to happen and the person you want to become.
Mm-hmm. I think if we all like what's the word? If we all kind of really focus and pay attention to what we're thinking about and what we're seeing for a future and seeing and what we talk about and what we put our thoughts on, I think you will realize that exactly where you are is exactly what you put your thoughts on.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna say vision is important. I'm gonna say vision is important. Okay, let's go to number 3. Number 3, are you speaking about your future plans to anyone to make it come to life more and faster, or are you keeping your moves quiet and not expressing your dreams and hopes to anyone until it comes to pass?
I speak to my circle, my peoples, my inner circle.
I think this is a big one because I believe a lot, and I see memes about this all the time. Stay quiet, sis. Don't tell them your move, sis. Be quiet until it comes up. You know, don't tell nobody what you plan, and that's the worst thing you could do. You tell people too much. You know, I see this a lot. So I thought it was interesting because I think when you have a vision and you see your life a certain way, you get excited and you just want to talk about it. But a lot of people say this, don't speak about it until it comes to pass. Don't put your relationship on Facebook until
that's no that's just a ploy. That's a ploy. But the reason I only speak to certain people about certain things and try to keep other things away from because I don't want my joy to be touched by negativity. So I know the people that I'm sharing with are going to relish in the joy and the excitement with me. And I want to keep it away from people who may not. I want to keep it away from people who may not, because I haven't overcome yet. And my mental can be, I'm just going to be honest. And my mental can be very affected by the way people speak negatively on what I'm doing in my process. It really can. And it can almost derail me. So I used to be a big oversharer. Like if you look at my Facebook 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I talked way too much. Like I shared way too much. And I feel like these days I'm just trying to, like for social media, I use social media kind of like surfacely, like really, really surfacely. And I keep all of my intimate and like major life changes to myself and to my inner circle, because too many people will put negativity on the things that you're excited about. But not only that, the same way that I'm visualizing a great future for me, somebody who secretly hates me could be visualizing the opposite. And I don't want their energy to come overpower my energy. So I speak it out loud because it needs to be said, but I speak it to the people who I know will be here for me.
Okay. I was laughing because BTD mom said I need to focus on how I see myself in the future when I see those Lay's potato chips.
Period. Man, because those Lay's potato chips call my name.
Mine's is hot fries, and it seems like all the stores is out of hot fries right now. Can't nobody find no hot fries.
Too. What's going on?
I'm like, what is going on? Do we need to donate to the factories? Like, come on, get it over here. I will too.
That's funny.
I got 2 good children downstairs who could do some labor.
I'm gonna say this. I'm with to answer your question. I'm with Stacy 546. I speak my visions and I speak my future dreams, but I also am very clear that there's 3 types of people in my environment. There are dream fillers. They feel my dream. There are dream stealers. They're there trying to pick something up and bite off of it. And there are dream killers, those that really don't want to see. So I'm like filler, stealer, killer, I pay attention, and I do know the different people in my environment, and I know what to say to whom and what not to say to who too.
Exactly.
And I mean, I think you get, even if somebody speaks negatively about your vision, eventually you can get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm excited because this is an opportunity for me to show my faith, or for me to grow my faith past what somebody else says about me or thinks about. Oh, girl, you ain't gonna make it. I'm so glad you said that, because I'm gonna show you that me and God got a plan, and we gonna make it whichever way. However, it don't matter what you say,
Yeah.
because this is what I've been given. So
And they don't get my energy for sure. And I already know that greater is the energy in me, and greater is the anointing on me than anything that's in the world. Anything outside of me is not greater than what's inside of me. So I don't stress on that. But definitely the idea, I do pay attention. I do pay attention.
pay attention.
Facts.
Okay, number 4. Does visualization go against your spiritual beliefs or religion? We kind of touched on it earlier. Now that we've had the conversation, and you know, there's still a question.
No, I like the way STL put it. I think they're hand in hand.
Yeah. I feel like for me, it goes along with it. You know, I don't think visualizations, I don't think that it's, you know, anything that's negative. How can it be negative? How can you visualize yourself in a better life, a better situation? How can that be negative?
I really appreciated this conversation, because I haven't so much. I mean, I've talked about and kind of utilized manifestation, and I'm just gonna add visualization into my pocket of tools, I guess. But I have been looking at ways to adapt other things that pull on my heart, and learning how they kind of play into Christianity, and not like what I have learned was Christianity from the church, not to, I mean, crap on the church, but I feel like some of the experiences that I had on church really kind of put a blanket over some of the tools that we can really use to harbor our own energy in our future. And I want to take the blanket off, and I want to be able to live and be who I am wholeheartedly, which I can get deeper into that. But for the sake of time, this is just going to go into that pocket of things that I can use.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay. Last one, number 5. How long are you going to give the visualization practice to come to pass before you don't believe it anymore?
Ooh.
No, is it A, a month? Okay, are you gonna give it a month? Is it B, 6 months? Is it C, 1 year? Or is it D, you never stop?
Right now, I'm gonna say I'm gonna never stop.
It's the right answer, right? That's what everybody just say, never stop.
Right now,
but I'm telling you, I'm gonna give it a month.
Yeah, this moment in time, I fully believe it. I fully believe it. I'm about to go watch this movie as soon as we get off of here.
The Secret?
So, yeah, The Secret.
Yeah, it'll bless you.
Yeah. So right now, I'm in the never stop zone right now.
Michelle Brown said one of mine took 16 years.
Yep.
Never stop. BCD mom, never stop.
Yeah.
You know,
I've had some questions about like some of my childhood trauma and like why I had to go through that. And so I've been trying to devise ways of preventing my children from going through that without it being me physically being there over them all the time. And so I think I'm going to use this for that.
Cool.
Love that.
Cool.
Love that.
Yeah.
Funny Kimmy said 1 year of focused work.
That's great.
Man, Funny Kimmy said something earlier that was a bar. I'm talking Kanye bars.
What was it?
Bars.
What was
it? If it works, if you work it and you're worth it, so work it. Is it worth it, baby? Work it. I put my
thing down, flip it and reverse it. It's yours, come get it once wet. Okay. That's funny. Work, baby.
A bar. It works if you work it.
I love that.
So you're worth it, so work it. I like that.
Yes. Okay, y'all, listen. Real quick, because we've been talking about visualization. So we just want to give y'all a little experience. What we're going to do right now is do a guided visualization. Okay, together, all of us, we're all going to try it. So I want everybody to kind of take whatever you're doing. I want you to kind of hone in on this podcast right now because we're about to do a guided visualization. Shelly Welly, are you ready?
I'm ready.
STL, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, I want everybody, I would like for everybody to close your eyes. Okay. I want you to take a very deep breath in through your nose and out through.
Excuse me. It made me
You're
burp.
good. Because it's expelling all that stuff out through your mouth. Okay. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Take one more. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Okay. I want everybody to close your eyes. Okay. Now I want you to just bring the image to yourself that you're at an end of a road. Okay. You can feel the wind blowing on your skin and you're standing there. And in front of you, I want you to see two doors. Okay. You can feel the sun's warmth on your skin because it's beaming down on you. Okay. The door on your left, it says doubt. Under doubt, it says fear. Under fear, it says shame. Okay. Then I want you to look to your right. The door on your right, it says forgiveness. Under forgiveness, it says grace. And then under grace, it says power. Now, I want you to see yourself walk towards the forgiveness. See yourself walk towards the grace. And see yourself walk towards the power. See yourself making it right to that right door. And put your hand on that knob. Feel that knob in your hand, and I want you to turn it. And as you open it, I want you to instantly smell smells of calmness. I want you to smell lavender. I want you to smell chamomile. Whatever smell that you use to bring you peace. Like some people like the smell of sage. Some people like the smell of cinnamon. Whatever that smell is, I want you to smell it as you open that door. Now, when you have that door fully open, I want you to imagine the warm light, just this big warm light rushing over you. And as you walk in, you are bombarded by the healing light that is from God. I want you to feel it all over your body. I want you to feel the warmth. I want you to be in it. I want you to feel it on your face, on your hands, okay? Imagine all the issues that you stand against in your life. I want you to put a face to them. I want you to make them a person. I want you to see those issues. I want you to see them sitting all at a round table in front of you as you walk in. Now, before you walk through the door, they were your enemies. They were the things that were standing against you. They were the holdups. They were your issues. They were the reasons you couldn't progress forward. Now that you've walked through that door of peace, that door of grace, forgiveness, and power, I want you to imagine those problems, those issues. I want you to imagine them all getting up from that table and bowing at your feet. I want you to see yourself being so much taller, just instantly grow taller than the issues. I want you to see yourself in a stature of giant, okay? Instantly grow past those issues. And I want you to look down and see how much bigger you are than all of that stuff. And then Look at them. Look at these things that have held you back for so long. And see yourself, you've grown 10 times the size and the height of them. Okay. Now, with that light all on you, you just soaking all that healing light up. I want you to step over all of those issues, all of those things with ease and peace and a deep knowing, and see yourself walking towards them, past them, into that healing light, into that warm light, into that peace of God. I just want you to see yourself walking past them and continuously growing in stature. I want you to go forth. Take a deep breath, everybody. Through your nose, out through your mouth. And I want everybody to come back. Begin to open your minds and your eyes and come back right here to this Reboot podcast. Yes. We just did a visualization. That was the first Reboot visualization, baby.
I love it.
How do y'all feel right now?
I love it. BTD mom said, I'm going to trust you taking me to a safe place. I know the whole time. I'm like, where are we going? When you were like, step towards the door, I'm like, which door?
Ah, that's funny. Listen.
I love it. That's good. Good stuff.
Yeah. Thank you. That was good.
It's a wholesome energy you feel.
Yeah. I love visualizations because they put me in a place where even if I'm not having a good day or not where I want to be, I can mentally be there. And it just gets me excited.
Yeah.
It just gets me excited.
Okay. I like the stepping over the growing into the giant and then stepping over all of that and realizing that it had no power over you and doing it with ease and with power. I love that.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yes, ma'am. Thank y'all for doing that with us. Listen, we're all about rebooting our life on this podcast. We all about getting rid of the stuff that don't work and implementing the stuff that does work.
Exactly.
I love it. So you already know what our last segment is. Stacy said, "I feel great." Michelle Brown, I think I can't see what that says. I think it says
come through. That's I didn't put it up because it's actually an emote. And
right.
It won't give you the picture. That's why I didn't put it up. It says
oh.
And BTD mom said good vibes. Good vibes.
Great, awesome. Y'all know what our last segment is. You said what?
You ready for it?
I'm ready for it. I don't know why it makes me laugh every time. Turn that thing around, baby. This is my favorite part of the podcast. Oh, Stacey.
Listen, Stacey, when she said smell the chamomile, I was like, what does chamomile smell like? I was trying to think about it. Then I was like, bring it back, sis. Bring it back.
Chamomile.
Listen, I'm so glad you knew what to say because you were like, smell the lavender and the chamomile. And I was just like, I just want to smell Dr. Pepper. So then you were like, or smell whatever you want to smell. I was like, okay, good, because I'm smelling Dr. Pepper.
Come on, Dr. Pepper. I ain't mad at it. Exactly. Chamomile, a lot of people say it brings you peace and everything. And a lot of people have the smell to make you calm or whatever. So that's why I said that. But yeah, whatever you like. I smell butter.
I'm here for it. A nice buttered pound cake.
Okay, you hear me? Michelle, coffee. Okay? Whatever brings you there. Whatever takes you there. I love it.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh no, Stacey 546 said you can't smell. Poor
yes. That's what made me make that comment. I love
it. Okay. Well, Shelly, you want to go first or you want me to go first?
I can go first.
Okay. I'm excited.
Let's get it. Of course, my
Reboot, baby. Reboot.
Okay, turn that thing around. You are invited to an entrepreneurial networking event for your field of interest. Everyone who is anyone in your field will be there. There's one particular person who has made a name for themselves as the person to know in the industry, and you want to meet them. You start visualizing the necessary steps and practicing icebreakers in the mirror to really offset the jitters of seeing them. When you get to the event, you set your plan in motion, but as you're walking over to them, a server bumps into you with a tray of caviar and crackers. It goes everywhere, covering your gown, your hair, sliming your face. Turn the thing around.
Oh, you ain't got no extra dressing? Listen, this is what it's gonna be. Caviar. What does caviar smell like?
Fish eggs.
Oh Jesus. um. Okay, so this is adversity at its best, right here. Okay, I think that I would probably go to the bathroom. I would just go to the bathroom, try to clean off the best I can, and then go back to the table and just try to do the best I could. That's just what I would do. Probably not, because I probably would just go home. And I would just have to find this person on social media and try to connect that way because I would be self-conscious about the smell. I would probably just try to find the person on social media, look up the next event they're gonna be at, and try again. Stay away from the waiters. And I'll have an extra pair of clothes in the car. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Because guys, dog, the folks that spilled the caviar on me, I can't take it. Covering
it was just
your gown.
Server, y'all. It was a mishap. You turned around and boom.
I would be like, are we the same? If me and the servers are the same size, I'll be like, yo, come in here because we need to switch outfits. Because first of all, you messing up my life. And you need to learn how to, this not your calling. That's what I would have told them. You're not supposed to be a server. You bumping into folks. Listen, change outfits with the server, put them in the gown, then I'm gonna go on over and make the connect that I need to make. How far do I live away from the event?
That's a good question. Let's say you in the next town. It's a good 30 minutes.
Dang. Well, it's a Walmart everywhere. I'm gonna hop out, go to Walmart, give me some new change of clothes real quick, hop back and talk to that person. Cause I can't be waiting. Now I'm thinking about it. I can't be waiting. When else am I gonna be at this person face to face? I need to make it happen.
Yeah. I mean, either one will work. Change your clothes or wait. You can wait.
I don't want to wait.
Talked about it. There's no timeline. There's no timeline on your.
There is no timeline, but when opportunity presents itself, give it all you got.
Seize the moment.
Or just tell them, I got caviar split on me, or make a joke out of it. Be like, you want to taste this one right here? This is a special kind, and just get a spoon, scoop it off, and feed it to them.
BTD mom said, use it for the attention you're gonna get. Michelle Browno said, I would find them, talk to them, and the whole time be like, what is that smell?
That is hilarious.
Ma'am, it's you.
Do you smell that?
And my eyes are burning.
Oh God, that caviar has gone bad. Anyway, Jim, I'm looking to do a merger. No, I'm just like, whatever. My company's worth $2 million. I'm trying to go public. I don't know. I need a new PR.
Listen to my vision for our companies joining together.
Exactly. I'm about that. I'm about that life. Caviar and all. I love it.
Period.
Okay, here's mine. I'm just gonna do one. You just got into a relationship, okay, with this cool guy that you like.
Hey, cool guy.
He's a great man. You're excited about the progression of you and him together. Y'all moved in together, and after 3 weeks, you realize he isn't as great as you thought. Okay, the man don't cook. The man don't clean up after himself. He expects you to do all those things. He doesn't open doors. He just quit his job because he was tired of management. He kind of did a 180 on you. Okay, he was one way to get you. Now he's done let his whole self show, and now you're like, I don't want it. But at this point, you are connected and want to stick it out and make it work. So you start visualizing the man you want. So you visualizing him becoming this man, right? Diligently, every day. And all of a sudden, while you're visualizing this man, it's the guy, it's your work husband. Okay. Your work husband, y'all been friends for years. He started looking better and better to you. He just ended his relationship of 5 years. and he's been showing you more attention lately. Now you ready to end your relationship with only 6 months. Turn that thing around.
Well, this is a bind. Um,
Mm-mm.
so while I was visualizing, all of a sudden my work husband starts looking like the
The
guy
man
that
you've
I'm
been
visualizing.
100%.
Does my boyfriend start changing at all?
No, he's in there. He know y'all live together. Y'all both your name on the lease. Y'all got a real expensive apartment, so you know he can't leave because y'all both you need both incomes to support the apartment cost. He's in there, so he feel like he could be free with his. He could be himself. He quit his job somehow. He got unemployment, so he's still getting a little money.
Mm, hmm.
He love you, but he done got comfortable. Okay,
Which is the
he
problem, sir.
what problem?
I'm gonna step away from the relationship. I'm not gonna step into a relationship with the work husband, but I'm gonna step away from this relationship because how dare you deceive me? How dare you be someone else to wrap me up in your cocoon and then completely change who you are? I gotta step back. I
What y'all
gotta
gonna
let
do with this
you
rent?
do you.
Yeah, what y'all gonna do with the rent?
What you gonna do with this rent?
Look, we're gonna have to come up with this $3,000 buyout, or however we get up out of this lease.
Y'all
Something.
can't afford the buyout. Y'all can hardly afford. Both of y'all can't afford the rent together. But if one of them opts out, you jacked up.
Well, we're just gonna have to be roommates. Hi, Jonathan. You drank the rest of my milk. Please replace it by Friday. Thank you. I'll see you on Friday.
Buddy Kim said, creating expectations of other people just lead to resentment for me.
Yeah. And that's
You
the thing.
know,
And that's why I have to recuse myself, because you set the standard and then you stepped out of it and you became somebody else. And I can't get jiggy with that. Like, it'd be different if this was just like a phase in your life, but the fact that I gave it time, we went from 3 weeks to 6 months and you never changed and you never got any sort of vision and you continued to be. It's easy to say who you are, and it's also easy to act a role for a little bit of time, but you can't, once the mask comes off, you can't continue to act like who you are is who you are, and now I've seen who you are. So the 3 weeks was fun and great and dandy, but not for the rest of my life.
I think the expectations are good. I think they are.
Expectations are good as long as they're realistic. If you weren't opening doors for me when we got together, I'm not going to all of a sudden expect you to start opening doors. But if you were, I do expect you to hold that standard. If you were filling up my gas tank, I do expect you to hold that standard. Unless there's a conversation for that change. Unless there's a conversation for that change, I expect you to hold whatever standard you set when I met you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with Funny Chemist on this one. If I'm in a relationship and you start coming at me with new expectations or whatever, I'm gonna resent that because I am who I am. Do you want me now? What I'm not gonna do is come in presenting one thing to you when I'm really something else. That becomes the twist in this sorted question that you asked for me. The fact that I'm assuming originally he was doing this stuff and then he got comfortable and just started.
Yeah, that's what she said. She said for like 3 weeks he was doing it, and then all of a sudden he stopped, and then it went on for like 5 months. I'm like, no, sir.
I mean, that is something they always talk about. You send your representative when you first start dating. So I mean, I think it's natural that you want to impress people.
Yeah.
You want people to want you and like you.
There's a honeymoon period, but there's a difference between a honeymoon period and deception.
And deception is the thing. You being a whole different person after a couple weeks is a big difference.
Yeah, for me, if you're coming in trying to catch me, and you're just, putting some sugar and honey on it to make it sweet when you know all the time you're vinegar and no, no, that ain't so.
Vinegar and shit is what she was going to say, people.
Listen,
Not vinegar shit.
thank you, Shirley.
Ew.
Thank you. Really
Well,
good.
what if that vinegar is visualizing that they're sugar?
You ain't acting it. You're visual, sir.
Then you got to manifest. But what I am saying is, I'm with a funny chemist. Once you, as my partner, start putting expectations of how you want me to respond and how you want me to act, I'm going to resent that, and I'm just
Yeah.
being real. That's going to make me very resentful because I am an individual. Love me for me, but don't come at me with if you give me ultimatums, I'm probably going to walk out the door.
Yeah, no, ultimatums are a killjoy.
That
Well,
expectation, I'm a resent it. I'm going to resent. I feel funny chemist on that one. I'm gonna resent that, and that's just
Mhm.
me, though. That's just me.
I
Mhm,
think
mhm.
I think instead of making ultimatums, you should be like, "This is how I expect to be treated. If you're able to do this, then let's continue. If not, we're going to release each other because we have different
Period.
ideas of what we want our relationship to look like."
Absolutely, 100%.
So that's more so what I would be like.
And that's why I said I would step away because no, how I wanted to be treated is how you were treating me. I don't know who this man is I'm looking at. There's a stranger in my house.
Right.
Sorry.
It took a while to figure. It took 3 weeks to figure out.
There's no way you could, you know what
Well,
I'm
see,
saying?
you talking about 3 weeks. So in 3 weeks, he done lost his job. He's on unemployment. I'm like, did you come in the door with the idea that you got you a free workhorse and you just gonna lay up?
That's what he
Listen,
had thought. And that's exactly what he had thought. But this ain't the one and she ain't me and I ain't her.
they say men know within the first few hours if what you're gonna be in his life. Okay, that's what they say.
Mm. The
So
things of a holy booty call.
Come
wow.
on,
Right
funny
here.
chemist. Come on, funny chemist. Because at the end of the day, now we done got this expensive apartment. I heard you. I was listening to. We're not going for. We're going for the luxury, the
We're going
feel,
for
the plush, the da 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 da. And then we park up in here, and you done lost your job all of a sudden, and you're not cooking, cleaning, you're at home while I'm getting the bricks. What you doing all day? Why can't the food be cooked? Why can't the dishes? I'm gonna have an attitude. I'm gonna tell, and then come at
and
me. I don't know. I got an issue.
Well, don't put your expectations on him. That's what he gonna say. Don't put your expectations on me. I'm free. We in a relationship. You love me, then this is what's going on. Through
And
no,
thick or
sir.
thin. That's what he gonna say. Through thick or thin, right?
and I'm not. I'm gonna show him the door and believe God. I'm gonna vision. I'm gonna have a vision of me being able to pay this full rent by myself while your tail is someplace else.
Period.
Deuces. I love it. Y'all gotta be cracking up.
Because I heard they doing well over there on OnlyFans at this point.
Listen,
Listen.
I think you playing. I think you played me. That's what I'm feeling. And that we're not gonna want to cohabitate under the same roof anyway. If I feel like you played me, because you gonna
You're
get
not.
baby, you gonna get the ogre and the Grinch and everything else ugly up in here. The wicked
Right.
witch.
Uh-huh.
Right. Okay,
Mm.
let's go to the next one.
Okay. So you missed your flight home. This one's short. You missed your flight home and you have to be on standby for the evening or take the same flight for the next day. Those are your two options. So you promised your job that you would be in the office tomorrow and you have no extra money for a hotel tonight. Turn it around.
You missed your
You missed your
home.
flight.
You have to be on
And your
standby
two
for
options are
evening.
either be on standby to try to catch another flight tonight or just take a slot for the same time flight tomorrow. You told work you would be there and you don't have any extra money. You can't stay in a hotel tonight.
I would just probably just stand by. I would probably just stay in the airport and wait
Do
for
they let
the.
people do that anymore?
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
airports started shutting down at like midnight, from midnight to 4 a.m. so they could get people out.
No, they got
No?
flights. Do they? I don't think so.
I
I
don't know.
don't
I've heard of a
know.
couple of friends that spent the night at the airport. I don't know if it was a special situation, but I do know some that have
Huh.
recently. So I don't know
That's good
though.
to know.
COVID, I don't know. I don't know what the changes are.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well okay, well shoot, yeah, because all the overnight stuff don't stay overnight no more. I'm about to say I just go to Walmart.
You go to Walmart,
uh
sit and people watch for a few hours.
right. I will probably just do the standby wait. And then like if they put me out, where my man at? I should be able to call so we're family. I should be able to call somebody and say, let me get $63 for a hotel room real quick for tonight. If
Good
I'm
point.
if I'm struggling, like, or if I have a card, I don't have a card.
You
I
broke
ain't
and
got
you
no
broke.
friends. Where am I at? Where am I coming from? I was seeing.
I didn't put a place. Let's say
I was.
Colorado.
Oh, not Colorado. Is it cold? Is it got ice on it? It gets cold in Colorado. I would see who I knew. Okay. Maybe I'll get on Facebook and be like, yo, I'm in Colorado. Can I sleep on anybody's couch? Maybe somebody will let me sleep on their couch. Just,
Oh
Yes.
Lord.
Here comes Ted Bundy. Of course you can come sleep on my couch.
yeah, just have an experience. I watched a documentary about the dude who lived his life on Craigslist for a year, and he was just sleeping on people's couches and
Yeah, I've heard of
going
that.
from here, going from here, and it was the most amazing experience he ever had in his life.
I've heard of that.
Wow.
So I would do that, and I would just send. I have certain people that I send. Like if I'm about to go do something, it's a little like shaky. I send folks information. I send license plate numbers. I send the ID, a picture of the ID, just in case. I got myself into something that's a little rough. That's what I would do. That's how I would turn
that's a
that
good
thing
one.
around.
I like that. Figure it out. Use your resources.
Figure it out. Use your resource. You never know. It's always a friend around the corner.
All right. That's all I got.
Okay. Well, we've come to the end again. Reboot Podcast. Thank y'all for coming in again. Thank y'all for commenting with us and hanging with us on this Monday night. We want y'all to go forward in your weeks and have great days, visualizing the amazing time you want to have in this life. Be back here with us next Monday, 9 p.m. We will see you guys there. We're changing over our Facebook pages and stuff, so keep your ear to the streets for us, and we'll let everybody know what's going on with that. Thank y'all for being here. Please follow me on Instagram. Phoenix. Actually, my Instagram is called Leor Music, LEEOR_music. And yes, that's what I have to say. Go ahead.
Leor Music. Oh,
Leor Music.
follow me everywhere. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram at Miss Shelly Welly. Follow me on the Clock app at Bets on Shelly. And come join some conversations that we're having. I have a couple of TikTok story times going right now. I took an ancestry DNA test.
Oh.
So I'm about to, expose some family secrets.
Come on.
Ancestry. I want to figure out where my people are from. And then obviously I have the Tall Girl series going right now, talking about jeans and pants that fit us women with the lengthy legs.
I just was talking to somebody who was tall, and I thought about your video. They was talking about their pants, and I thought about your video.
Yeah, I have reached out to Fashion Nova about some PR information, so we'll see where that goes, you guys.
Shelly Welly making moves out here. Okay, go ahead.
Listen. It is all because of you. Before we started talking about it, I wasn't really fooling with TikTok. I was like, I don't know.
Right.
It's owned by China. I'm not sure what direction that's going.
I'm not about that TikTok life at all, no.
Yeah, look, and you got me on it.
Shelly about to be a Fashion Nova model. What do you call them? Ambassador.
I would hope so, because Fashion Nova, y'all got to get real with those models. Everybody's body is built by a couple $1,000s, and this body is built by McDonald's and 3 babies. So
right. Get it together.
Listen.
Okay, guys. Estelle, you want to say anything?
Great convo tonight, ladies. And I
Yes,
love the
it was.
visualization. It was great. The guided visualization was just very, very powerful. I love you. I love you. I love you. Listen, folks, thank you all for joining us tonight. Please copy the raid message. We're going to go someplace and bless somebody's house before we get up out of here for the night is over. I want to thank you to everybody that came in. It's just been a beautiful time with you. And again, you got Shelly Welly, Phoenix Leor. They in here, y'all. They in here. Meet us back here next Monday. Same bat time, same bat channel. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to you, Lena.
Listen, see y'all back here Monday. We love y'all. Have a wonderful week. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Reboot, growth, reboot, longevity, reboot, understanding, reboot, and integrity. Reboot, me and you, reboot, we on the road. Reboot, progress, reboot, self-discovery. Got a lot to learn in this life, and I'm excited. Gonna do it with my people, like mine. Yeah. What you gonna do when you need to? What you gonna do? Oh.